Hello there, in this tutorial, we look at how we can start creating a web app from a blank template. We will create a grid, add some rows and columns in it, and then put some labels in each column. On B4J, click File, New and then BANanoVuetifyAD3 blank, type in the name of your project and click OK. This will create a blank BANanoVuetifyAD3 project. Just to ensure that the I.D.E setup went well, open the Libraries tab. References for Banano, BANanoVuetifyAD3 classes and BANanoVuetifyAD3 should be active. In this project template we have a baseline layout template, let's open it. This already has the V-app and V-main components. We will place a V-container inside the V-main component, and then add V-rows and V-columns. We add a V-container, this will host all other components on our page. Let's add a couple of V-rows inside the V-container. We will add one V-row and then duplicate it and place the rest appropriately across the V-container. To do this, we right-click on the V-row, and then click Duplicate, and then we drag the newly created copy to its location. We have created 5 rows, we need to add columns inside each row. We add a column, then place it inside the row to create a HTML tree structure. For this column, we will set the size to be 12 across all devices. Let's create another column by duplicating the last one, however set the calls property to 6. On the second row, we create 2 columns each with a size of 6. On the third row, we will create 3 columns, each with a size of 4. We set the calls property to 4. 4 by 3 equals 12. On the fourth row, we have 4 columns, each with a size of 3. 3 by 4 equals 12. To create the grid, we use the duplicate methodology as it makes it easy to copy components. You can place any component and then copy them like this. On the last row, the column size will be 2 for each. We will place 6 column components. Next, let's give each column a color, so that we can differentiate between them. We select the color property and choose the color we need. For each row column, we will use a different color. This color coding was an afterthought. We could have created the column with all properties and then just duplicated it. Then, we need to place components inside each column. For this example, we will use the V label, however you can place any component inside a V column. We place the V label inside the V column. This establishes a parent-child relationship. You then set the properties of the V label or the component of your choice. We will make this a paragraph. We will then make it centered inside the V column by using the horizontal and vertical align. To demonstrate our grid, we duplicate this paragraph across all our V columns. As the third row columns are black, we need to change the text color of the paragraphs to white. Let's create the rest of the components for our demonstration. For our last row, let's change the caption of each paragraph to be 2, reflecting the size of that column. We also change the tag to be H2. We then duplicate the newly created H2 across the rest of the columns in the 5th row. We then ensure that we are accessing the right class module and then generate members for all the components. For the V columns with a black background, we need to change the text color of the paragraphs to white. We save our layout and then run our application. There we go. In this tutorial we created a web project from a blank template. We created a container with rows and columns. In each row we added components and gave them properties. This concludes how you can create a SPA and then place components and run your project.